What up, God's people? It's your boy, your uncle, Tony D. Kelly. Welcome to Indie Gospel Talk. Today, I have a great gentleman as my guest, Mr. Ontario Richard, and I just want to thank him in advance for just being here and sharing his knowledge with you, the indie artists, and the want to be artists. Uh, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, and we just hope you enjoy. We pray that you enjoy him. Uh, I've been knowing him for a couple years now, and his, his brother is all that in a bag of chips, if I must say so myself. He's quickly rising through the ranks of the gospel music, and we just thank God for him. I want to share this uh, passage of scripture. It's only one verse uh, in Psalms 147. It says, "Praise the Lord, for he is good to sing praises, for it is good to sing praises to our God, for it is pleasant, and a song of praise is fitting." A song of praise is fitting. You know, we live in a world today that things are fading fast. This world is fading fast. This country, other countries, wars and rumors of wars. The Bible says that these things were going to happen. So we need to get ourselves prepared because he's soon to come. And it's more evident now than ever. And we just thank my guests on today. And we hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to Indie Gospel Talk. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us right here in the Gospel Talk. We appreciate you for coming out and being situated here. Okay, okay. And we just thank our guests for being on the show today. And it is none other than my friend, my homie, Mr. Ontario Richard. What's up, bro?
How you doing, good brother?
Hey, man, God is good, man. I try not to complain, but I'm
Mm.
human. I complain sometimes, but God don't like it when we complain, man.
No, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey,
You're
man,
definitely right about that.
hey, you have grown tremendously in this industry at an alarming rate so fast. How, first of all, how did you get into uh, doing all this?
Well,
And
uh,
all of it.
mhm. Well, it goes back to when I was 5 years old. My auntie Valencia, she was my first music teacher. I started on piano,
Okay.
and then that transitioned into her, my mom, and grandfather giving me a guitar, and I just kind of been going ever since with the love of music. And I had since where I was an artist, songwriter, producer, and all those different things. Then of course, this last few years I've been doing radio, which Kyle Collins at
Hmm.
he's been helping me out with that. He was like one of my first teachers, along with Darius D. Baker,
Okay.
of Hallelujah 95.3 in Tallahassee, Florida. And then, of course, yourself, you've been a great mentor, as well. I've been watching some things you do and how you move. And I say, okay, he's doing it right. He doesn't have bad name. He has everything is, always hear good things about you. So I try to implement different things from everybody. And then, it just present good quality, And when it comes to the promotion part of things, that started. I had some friends, um, great people, great artists. They just didn't have the outlets to get their music heard. So what I did initially was just send it to friends that I knew that had radio stations, and then of course it just kind of blew up from there to where some people got played in Africa, London, and all these different places. And of course people start asking, those folks, how did you get your music played there? So they, share my information, and then that's how we arrived where we are today. And
You're doing a
God's really been good,
doing a great job, man. You have awesome artists, and
Appreciate it.
uh, he hasn't sent me a bet, ladies and gentlemen. He has not sent me a bad music. Awesome
let's
artist.
let's knock on this wood then.
But
Yes, sir.
you, you're awesome, man. So you play piano and guitar.
Well, I don't play piano as much. I kind of lost those skills, but I still play guitar, and I still have the feel for drums as well and congas.
Amen.
So yeah, yes, sir.
Man, God is just good, man.
Hmm.
My computer trying to mess up here, but the devil is a
He ain't
lie.
gonna win tonight.
Today, not tomorrow, not
No,
ever. He's
no,
always.
sir.
But anyway, uh, tell me one of your biggest pet peeves that you have, or what does in what is something that you can tell a artist uh, not to do, and uh, what's the biggest thing should they do
Mhm.
when they're sending their music out to radio stations, and what to watch for, that kind of thing.
I would say if they're sending it out, uh, I would say definitely make sure it's presented well. Of course, the mix and master. You can have a great voice, but your mix and master can kill your record. So, got to make sure everything's balanced out. If you don't know what to listen for, or there's people out here such as myself and others that can critique the record for you. Of course, your pictures they got to be professional. Your cover art, and of course, your bio. You don't have to list your whole life story, but just the highlights
Right.
of your career, and some small things about you. One thing I would definitely say look out for is connecting with the wrong people, because sometimes um, people just in it for the money and they don't really care about your art. Whether it's whether it's a promoter or a record label, just kind of be careful and mindful of those things and pray about it. Um, Also, too, I would say definitely don't have any self doubt because if you have self doubt, you're not going to get far at all because you already kind of cancel everything out by doubting yourself.
Right.
So that's some of the things I would definitely say.
Exactly. Who are some of your influences besides Cal? Cal, that's my boy. As a matter of fact, he's really the one that turned me on to you.
Hmm.
So
Yes. Hmm.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everything you do. And
Likewise.
this is people don't understand. This is hard work.
Hmm.
It's a lot of work.
Hmm.
Just doing radio is a lot of work.
Yes.
And then when you combine uh, uh, doing music and
Hmm.
mixing and mastering, not
Hmm.
only the recording part of it is pretty simple, especially if
Hmm.
you a producer, you have a dog, you have
Hmm.
a studio. That part of it is easy. The
Hmm.
mixing part of it and making sure your stuff sounds presentable.
Hmm.
Uh, who are what are some of the things that you gravitate to when you listen to artists to uh, put them out? What do you listen for?
Um, when it comes to like promoting artists, or even just connecting with them, first the spirit got to be right. You know, I got to be able to get along with you to work with you. That's one.
Yeah,
Two, there got to be potential there. Of course, not everybody can sing like Aretha Franklin, but you know, everybody, you know, just have your own style. Don't try to go off the trends of today or yesterday.
right.
Um, Definitely be able to sing on pitch and stay on pitch. And of course, you know, the vocals definitely got to be, you know, pretty solid. Uh, Stage presence, you know, for the ones that don't have stage presence, we actually get workshops on that
Okay.
um, as well, and just have. Oh, also, let me go back. Let me rephrase that. Of course, stage presence, but also they gotta market themselves too, because yes, we can do our part, but at the same time, they gotta do their part as well. So when somebody
For the
says
song,
that this, when they say I'm a singer, I'm a rapper, whatever they may do, when people go to your social media, they should be able to see that you are those things that you say you proclaiming to be. So I always tell artists make sure you're marketing on your social media because you know a lot of award shows they sort of look at the social media followings and how often you post before they even consider you to even go on the ballot nowadays. Because I recently experienced that with the award show. They said, yeah, the artists are great. They just got to get a bigger following. So so that kind of messed pretty much eliminated, you know, the artists from contention because they look at it like, okay, the voters they're gonna, of course, they know who the Kurt Franklins are, they know who the Yolanda Adams, but they don't know Susie from here
right.
because you know. So I always say definitely, you know, build a team and market yourself.
Me as being a producer and
Hmm.
artist myself, that's one of the biggest things I have against my own self because
Hmm.
I don't market myself because it's like I don't know it's, I don't hype myself up.
Hmm.
I'm just that kind of person.
Hmm.
It's kind of hard for me to do.
Hmm.
Who
Hmm.
should we go to? What should we do when we have those kind of problems? We're not good marketers. I do radio.
Hmm.
I can do the radio. I've been doing it for a while now.
Hmm.
I'm decent at it.
You're great at it. What you say? Decent. Said I'm decent.
I'm decent at it, man. It's only because I did radio when I went to college, and
Uh-huh.
back then you had to play what was on that list.
Yes. Hmm.
TV from that
Yeah.
because those people pay to be
Hmm.
on that list, or is what we call listener supported radio. In
Hmm.
college, is
Hmm.
everything on that list. If you deviate it from that list,
Out of there.
that's going to be, or you heard from the manager, don't do that.
Yeah.
This. So who do we, how do we find these people that help us with promotions? And, you know, well, we know you, of course, but
Hmm.
where do we go to look? How do we find people that promote uh,
Um,
in the arts?
Sometimes it's advertised on social media. Sometimes it's word of mouth. Uh, in my case, it's been a lot of people that came to me by word of mouth. Because I don't really advertise that I'm a promoter.
That seems to be working for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I said, I don't really advertise the promotions thing. We advertise the radio station, of course, and the radio shows. But um, I think word of mouth, social media. But I would say definitely be careful on social media though, because sometimes it does be like a lot of scams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I definitely say, if an artist comes across a social media page, um, first pray about it, of course, before reaching out. Then, of course, set up like a Zoom call or something, to see if you even click with that person, and then make sure, like, if they give prices, because some people do charge for promotions. Make sure it's something that's in your budget and that seems fair. Because even with some of the major artists that I work with now, uh, when I told them some of my prices or whatever, they were shocked because they're so low. Because they was used to spending thousands of dollars
Mm-hmm.
a month and get nothing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so definitely make sure you and that whoever that person may be that you connect with are on the same page, and it'll be a good working relationship as well. Um, But like I said, those are the main ways that I would say outside of just knowing people in passing.
Man, when I first got into radio,
Hmm.
before I got into radio, I was trying to send my music off to different radio stations,
Hmm.
and I have a book
Hmm.
here, and I keep it close to me. So it
Hmm.
reminds me uh, 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 who not to send your music to,
Hmm.
and what this business uh, is. Every time I call
Hmm.
a radio station or submit my music to a certain radio station, they're like, "Oh yeah, we can play music for
Hmm.
$50 or
Yeah, payola.
$100 or two
Hmm.
hundred dollars." I'm like, this isn't. I'm just trying to get one song played, and if I give
Hmm.
you this radio station $50, this radio station
Hmm.
$100, this radio station,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got 100 radio stations here. If I, man, I go broke before I even get my first song on. Then I don't
Hmm.
know if you even gonna play my song or
Hmm.
not. So,
Hmm.
what do you say to that?
I
About
know
radio stations
I
who do that? That's crazy. James Brown
yeah.
did that back in the day. He go to a radio station
Hmm.
or a DJ, hey, play this song, and he
Hmm.
pull out a wad of cash, and
Yeah.
here is such and such from Mr. James Brown at
Hmm.
a white radio station,
Hmm.
because they were they weren't trying to hear that. So
Yeah.
how do you what do you say about that?
Well, I know back then, of course, uh, it wasn't that many black stations at all.
At
And
all?
then, of course, and then on top of that, back then radio wasn't 24 hours. You only had so many hours to play stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they call it, race music back then.
Right.
So for the youngsters, that's in other words, for the youngsters, that mean black music. It was very limited to what stations that would play black music or um, especially like the James Brown, the Sam Cooks, the Howie QCs, those type people. You know, it was hard for them back then. That's why they stayed on the Chitlin circuit. You know, my grandfather, he was a quartet singer back. You know, way back in the time. So he's done shows with the Mighty Clouds of Joy and the Sam Cooks and all this before they became, you know, who the world know them as now. Um, you know, so that's how, you know, I learned of those different things like the payola and all those different things. Um, I would say if a station does say, "Hey, yeah, we'll play it, but we're gonna charge you $500," I'll say run. Because, and the reason I say that because I know people that still try to practice. You know, yeah, we'll play it, but you just gotta give us so much money. We'll make sure this, and this. Um, you know, of course, you know, depending on how big the station is, of course, they'll never get shut down because that generates money for the other people. But of course, you know, a little station like mine, if I was to do that, you know, they'll shut us down tomorrow. So, um, even with this just streaming stuff, that's a whole nother thing too. Like you see a lot of independent artists sometimes are better than the quote unquote mainstream artists. But of course, you know, it'd be a big difference in streams. Of course, a lot of people they're buying what's it called the bots, they buying those, so they'll release a song to right now, and it'll be at 1 million streams in 2 minutes. But Brenda or Terrell, they'll release a song right now. It'll take them months to get to get to 500 plays. You know, so it's just a lot behind the scenes when it comes to radio and streaming. Um, but it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You just got to be careful who you connect with, and because it's a lot of because I see I work on both sides of I have a couple of neo soul artists I work with, and I have a couple of gospel artists, and unfortunately, the crazy parts mostly happen on the gospel side of things. So, unfortunately,
Yeah, and that's crazy, man. We're supposed to
yeah,
be
be
doing
the
this.
right ones. Be right.
We're supposed to be doing this for the right way
Yeah.
and for Christ. My thing is, man. Reason why I got into this
Hmm.
in the first place, God told me, He says, "You'll be played on the radio."
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, but ain't nobody gonna giving me a shot. I can't even get my music played on any radio station. And before I knew it, I had Miss Walton. I didn't even know her. And
Hmm.
she was playing my music on the radio station 2 or 3 weeks before I even talked to her. And then when I
Oh
did
wow.
talk to her, the first thing she said was, "Bro, have you heard your music on the radio yet?"
Hmm.
And it was my man Hosea, from
Hmm.
Oklahoma City.
Hmm.
Gave her a copy of my music and
Oh wow.
my number. And next thing you know, I'm on the radio.
Hmm.
But I had no idea that I
Hmm.
was going to be her executive director.
Yeah.
Now I'm a voice radio. I don't even put none of my stuff on my own station. I
Uh.
let everybody else. And I
Hmm.
get a joy out of doing that
Hmm.
and everybody else, man. And
Hmm.
I love it, man. I just love
Hmm.
it. Other people need it.
Yeah.
You gotta love this, man, because it's a lot of work.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. Another thing I have noticed too, I've heard from some artists I work with, when they try to send that same song to their local station, they wouldn't play it.
Mm-hmm.
But I send that same song to the same program director, then they get played the next day.
Next day.
So, and I think it's like that because people when the artist send it in, oh they're just Derek, they're just Lisa, whoever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
from such and such church, because they see them every week, at church.
Right.
So when it comes from a manager or a servicer or a label, they take it more serious
Right. And
because yeah.
and with you saying that, is it better to have a promoter or a manager? Because it seems to be that way. If you don't have
Hmm.
a promoter or a manager, you're not going to get played,
Yeah.
especially in the gospel world. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. I think it's needed. Of course, like I always say, stay within your budget because everybody don't charge the same thing, and it can get crazy. I've heard some crazy numbers over the time I've been involved in this space,
Mhm.
um, and like I said, I think people just take the artist more serious because they have a representative versus just the artist sitting there. So I would say definitely invest in the whole team, even if it takes you a while. Build that team of people that can help you. So it's not just on you. And of course, if you're doing everything, it's going to wear you down at some point in time. So it's just best to build a team and then have a certain person that sends it out on your behalf, whether it's a manager, whether it's assistant or whoever. It just looks better that way, versus you sitting in by yourself and then, oh,
More,
they're just Terry, and then they put it on the back burner, and then that turns into weeks, and then that turns to months and years, and you never get played. Unfortunately, and it could be a great song, but just
right,
because they see you every week, they don't take you serious.
right. How big is it to you that you build relationships in this business?
Relationships are key because you never know when you're going to need somebody, and plus, uh, you can always learn from other people too.
Mhm.
Whether it's a positive or a negative, you can always learn some kind of thing from relationships and friendships.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. And I appreciate you for doing this, man.
Yes, sir.
It's, you one of my heroes, bro. Is
uh,
because you expanded uh, in such a short time,
mm,
I would say, because I
mm,
was like, okay, Ontario Richard, okay, here we go. And the
mm.
next thing I know, everybody wants a piece of Mr. Richard.
it's
Blessed, man. So how
yeah.
does it make you feel that, you know, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but like I said, when I first got into it, there
Mm,
were only a handful of people that
mm,
you hear their names all the time. And
mm,
then all of a sudden, I met Kyle, and
mm,
he's like, yeah, you need to talk to this brother. And
mm.
man, you, boom, I see you everywhere, man.
I actually prefer to be in the background. So,
See,
'cause that's
me, I'm too, same way, bro. But
because when you're in that spotlight, that's a lot of pressure, and you
man,
know, and if you make any kind of mistakes, people will take that one mistake and run with it forever.
man,
And then, but that's the other part of it. When Mr. Collins introduced us, I really just got into it. So that's what,
right,
3 years now? Yeah,
yeah,
3 years. Yeah. So it hadn't been long. Like I said, I look up to you guys because you guys are doing right by the people and helping a lot of people out, and just giving people a chance because, without you guys, some of these artists would never even been played outside of their cousins and friends.
that's it,
So,
that's it, man.
so,
Then
we,
that,
we, we, we salute you guys.
man, I appreciate it, man. I'm just a vessel, man. I'm just trying to be used by God, man, and use the
Yes,
right.
sir.
I want to do the right thing because
Hmm.
we looking at everybody else. We just looking
Hmm.
at me too. We're not
Hmm.
even worried about me, what I'm doing. Am I
Hmm.
doing the right thing?
Hmm.
Am I treating my brother fairly? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I gotta do it that way, man. I can't see. Even though I've been wronged by the industry,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
wrong
say.
to them. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
can't do it. I just can't do it. I might not be
Hmm.
able to market myself as a artist as well as the next person, but you gave me some sound advice, and see, I'll listen to you.
I
you
don't know everything though. I don't know everything.
you're just a vessel, man. So you know who, when you work with people and like I was saying, those relationships, you know who
Hmm.
to listen to. You'll find
Yes.
out very quickly who to
Hmm.
listen to.
Hmm.
And it's crazy, man. Like the award shows,
Hmm.
you know, I'm gonna say this. Some people might get mad at me. Like my boy
That's
said,
a whole other.
I
I can, I can stay there all night talking about them award shows, man.
you know, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like my man said, I ain't trying to bite up on, but hey man, it's crazy that
Hmm.
you get nominated for that particular award,
Hmm.
then all of a sudden you gotta dish out a lot of money for a
Hmm.
trophy.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to hear that because I can
mm,
go down. That's a trophy shop right down the street.
yeah,
I go buy myself a trophy, put it on it anything I
yeah.
want to. You have to
Hmm.
do something different.
Hmm.
So, and I'm not, and I know your buildings, these award shows are trying to build stuff,
Yeah.
but some of this can be ridiculous, man.
Yes. Yeah. Because uh, what I share this quick story with you. I recently was aw- quote unquote awarded an award, but because I couldn't be there physically, they gave it to somebody else that wasn't. Because you know how it's the fan vote or whatever.
Right.
It was a huge gap. I'll just say that between myself and the second and third place person. And because I couldn't physically be there, they said we're gonna have to give it to someone else. And I had a real legit reason, you know. We
Right,
just had buried my grandmother,
right,
and I was like, well, I'm going to, you know,
right,
send off my grandmother. That's more important than some award.
right,
And
exactly.
I and then so that's one thing. And then, like I said, some of the artists, you know, that I work with, they've been approached to be a part of different award shows. Um, but the award shows want them to pay $1,500 to sing for 2 minutes, you know, and which, in my opinion, I hope I don't get nobody in trouble. But in my opinion, I think, like you said, that's ridiculous because you already have to pay to get to the award show. Whether and then, of course, you know that's hotel, that's gas, probably renting a car. You might have flew on a plane, got food you got to take care of, and then, of course, you know, got to pay the ticket to go to the award show.
Award
And
show,
then,
what you
yeah,
gonna get the award for?
yeah. So it's like, in my opinion, I think this is just my opinion. If you nominate for award show, you shouldn't have to pay to get into it, and you shouldn't have to pay to actually perform. Those should be complimentary.
That's right.
But that's just my opinion, because I think
Same way.
if they thought of if they thought of you enough to nominate you, they should think of you enough to okay, here's your free ticket plus one, and then to the whatever we're having, you know. But that's just my opinion. Of course, I made that post on Facebook before, and a lot of people got upset about it that
But
do award shows.
the truth is the truth. It's true, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, it's like
Hmm.
how many people pay to sing on the Grammy? I would
Hmm.
love to know.
Yeah.
You win the Grammy,
Hmm.
you go perform on the Grammys.
Hmm.
You know, and to me, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But but it's it's the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
I even brought that up to that award show. I said I have relatives who's won Grammys, they won Oscars and all these different things. They didn't physically go, and those folks still receive their stuff. So if y'all I'm sorry, if they're sending people stuff even though they couldn't make it, what makes you different?
that's right.
I never got an answer to that, so I probably won't be nominated for that thing. But like I said, I don't do it for the awards anyway, so
Me neither, man.
it's all good with me. I just wish people would with the award shows not be biased and
Right.
really listen to the music because especially when it comes to the independent award shows because I be watching a lot of them and listening to a lot of them, and the people that be winning, their music don't be mixed properly. The production be sloppy and the vocals sometimes be horrible. And just being honest. And then while such and such, I'm not just saying because I have artists, but just in general,
Right.
you have such and such artists over here, great artists, everything is solid. You know, they don't even get a knowledge or honored. Um, so that's one things I wish independent award shows especially would consider like being fair across the board and actually take time to listen before you putting these people on the ballots, and because a lot of times I feel like they're almost lying to the people and giving them false hopes that they're the number one gospel artist in the world or in their region. And in reality, there's a 12-year-old kid that can sing circles around him.
Boy,
So,
out there too. They're all over the place, man.
yeah.
And this is one of the things that kind of bothered me about the situation too. Uh, um, some of the artists they win the same awards
Hmm.
every year.
Yeah.
How does that happen? So
First,
that's
just
why,
by being biased.
right. That's why I was telling you before we came on the air. It seems like some of this stuff is sort of cliquish, man.
Yeah.
I'm not into. I don't have to be in your clique. I don't have to be.
Hmm.
You know, I'm fine where I am. Like I
Hmm.
said, somebody's gonna get mad at me
Hmm.
in the industry about saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can be in your little clique. You can be in your little
Hmm.
group. You
Hmm.
can do your thing. If and I have a pretty good ear. Oh, there you go. All right, thought I lost it. Anyway, there's a lot of people who who
I think I lost it.
have, who have their favorites. There are
Just
they
one,
have.
two.
I can hear you. They have their favorites, and that's fine. You have your favorite artist. I'm not a I'm not
Okay, there we go. I'm back. There we go.
I'm not a what do you say, a great vocalist. Matter of fact, I don't even
Hmm.
think I can sing all that well.
Hmm.
But when I try to, as being a producer, when I try to
Hmm.
get other people to do stuff,
Hmm.
they shy away from me. Oh, you ain't big enough. Or as if to say you ain't big enough and you ain't all that. Well, I ain't trying to be all that. I'm trying to
Hmm.
because this is what God told me to do. So I'll stop looking for people
Hmm.
to sing my stuff. I sing it myself.
Hmm.
Either you like it or you don't like it. I'm
Hmm.
just doing what God told me to do. And another thing is, uh, my wife can sing. So if 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 push comes to shove, if I need a voice, hey baby, you come here and sing this, you
Hmm.
can do this, so I and she sings pretty good,
Hmm.
but this is not her this
Area.
is not her wheelhouse. So
Hmm.
she'll sing in front of the mic, but when it comes to recording in front of the mic, she ain't about that. So I just do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard. I know. I remember when I first started out in the radio space. I was trying to get different artists to come on, and their managers would say, "Oh yeah, you're not big enough yet. We need
Yeah,
to see your numbers." And then fast forward now,
yeah.
these same people that said no back then, "Oh, do you have any slots available? Such and such is coming out with a single." But y'all just when I tried to reach out to y'all, say, you know
You
what?
wouldn't even propel me to where I am now. So
Yeah, it's a weird thing, man. It's weird. But you even with the vocal thing, I mean, you're saying that you don't consider yourself to be a elite vocalist. When you look back over history, though, a lot of the quote unquote known artists that we had over time that people consider as icons wasn't a great vocalist. Like you got Jimi Hendrix, you have
oh man,
James Brown, and all these. They had they weren't the best, vocalists, but they had passion, they had confidence,
right.
So
Man,
I would say, as long as you got that confidence and singing from your heart and your soul, you'll be all right.
I got a quick story about Jimi Hendrix. When I was going to the
Mm-hmm.
military, the Armed Forces School of Music,
Mm-hmm.
the Jimi Hendrix audition for the school, and they
Mm-hmm.
down there said he had no talent. He was one of the biggest rock stars in the world.
And history. That's crazy.
What are y'all doing at Jimi Hendrix? What am I doing here?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Doc
Yes.
Severinsen,
Hmm.
there's a bunch of musicians and artists
Hmm.
who have dropped the military school of music, and they were like,
Hmm.
"You had no, Jimi Hendrix had that talent, and you turn him down. Who am I?"
It's crazy, but in a way, it worked out for him. So,
That's right. That's right.
yeah, it worked out for him. God had a different path for him.
That's right. That's right. That's
Hmm.
right. He just he was
Cause
and they couldn't understand how he was making these sounds. Now
yeah.
that they make tools to plug into
Hmm.
the guitar
Yeah.
to sound a certain way, all he did
Yeah.
was put his guitar towards his amp. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
you know man, he
Yep.
was an innovator, man.
He's an innovator. Yep.
You know, uh, I uh,
Hmm.
I just thank God that I was in the same not in the same space, but when you
Hmm.
took Jimi Hendrix down, wow, I'm at the school of music. I feel kind of proud of myself. So
Yes, sir. That's definitely because even just getting into the military bed can be hard for some people
mhm,
because you could be great. A lot of people come out to church,
mhm,
but they can't read the notes. So
that's
that
it.
what kind of holds up a lot of people too. Like with me, I can't. I'm not a good reader of the notes, but I can tell you what it is if
Right,
I hear it. So
right, exactly.
yeah.
That
So
was
I think
I
that
feel
holds up a lot of people.
yeah that was one of my biggest things of how I got in because I could sight
Hmm. Yes.
on the trumpet real good. Now
Hmm.
when it comes to I can read the music, but
Hmm.
it take me a while to kind of pick it out. I can read chords and stuff like that, but my dexterity is not like it used to be.
Hmm.
I had 3 spine surgeries, and
Hmm.
it's a little bit difficult, but I still believe
Yes.
God is still good, man.
Hmm. Definitely. Yes, sir.
Ontario Richard, Mr. Ontario Richard. I appreciate you, brother. I thank you for being on the show. Thank you for sharing with us, man. We gotta do
Yes,
this
sir.
again, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime, I do. I help you out. However you need me. You always helping me out, so I got your back too.
Hey, man. Anytime. I'm telling you, people, he hasn't sent me a bad artist yet. They're all been quality. So I'm telling you. And this latest, the last lady you sent me,
Hmm.
uh, Miss Levis,
Yes. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Vanessa Levis. Yeah.
yeah, she's awesome too. She's awesome.
Yeah. She actually has a sister that's incredible too. Her name is Amethyst.
Wow.
Uh, her big song out that's right now is called Salt.
Okay.
So yeah, she's out of Chicago as well. But yeah, like I said, you definitely been a great help, and I don't take it lightly. For all the things you do to help out. So
Oh, I
you
appreciate
definitely help keep the train moving.
gotta keep it going. Gotta keep it going. So I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. We're gonna do this again, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
talk about it some more. And
Hmm.
this industry it can be cutthroat a little bit, but
Hmm.
we're here to do things
Hmm.
right and do things the right way.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ontario Richard, I appreciate you, brother. God bless you, man. And I'll
Same
holler at
here.
you. All right?
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace. People of God, I just want to thank you for joining me. I thank my guest on today, Mr. Ontario Richard. Check it out. You need to check this brother out. He's not going to do you wrong. He's going to let you know the right things to do and how to do it. And he's going to send it to every radio station that he knows, me being one of them. So it'll be played on the radio regardless. Amen. Amen. We'll see you next time on Indie Gospel Talk. Aha.